again. Apologies if I look a little windswept. I've just been sitting out in my garden, have a cup of coffee, and it's slightly breezy up here. I thought I'd tell you a little bit of information about me. My friends all call me Lynn. I live in the northeast of England. Some beautiful countryside up here. I wish I lived in the countryside, but I don't. I actually live almost in the centre of a town, but not quite. I do love where I live. It's a nice area, and I've got fantastic neighbours. I hope you are all in a similar situation. The reason I wanted to include mental health as one of the topics I will cover is ADHD runs in my family. I'm 64 now. My daughter is 34 and she was only diagnosed this year. Neither of us realised what was wrong with us. I spent most of my life thinking I was just weird. Over time I've learned coping mechanisms. I've learned to embrace my weirdness and actually kind of like it now because it sort of makes me, well, in my mind at least, unique. The worst part about the ADHD is not being able to sleep, because one of the ways it manifests in a lot of women is racing thoughts. And you know that feeling when you're really tired and you go to bed and you just put your head on the pillow and you're just about to doze off when your brain goes, ping, let's have a chat, and it's chat, 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 chat all the time. I do meditate a lot before I go to bed, and I've tried music, everything, and I found the best thing to get me off to sleep is just putting on an audio book. Usually one that I don't have to follow the story, that I've either read the physical book or listened to the audio book so many times I almost know it by heart. I think it's the droning of the voice that sort of lulls your brain into sort of just shutting up and going to sleep, because there's nothing interesting going on. I know with my brain, if I try to listen to music, it's sort of thinking, oh, I'm not going to sleep yet. I'm going to see what the next track is. Meditation music's the same, funnily enough. I have no problem meditating during the day. I've tried various sleep meditations, but my brain gets so focused on the music and listening to the music, it doesn't really switch off that way. I did see a therapist a few years ago, and she gave me some great coping mechanisms. I know a lot of people who are diagnosed with ADHD take medication, but I had a bad experience with antidepressants a few years ago. They actually made me a lot worse. That's just my personal experience. And I've learned since that people with ADHD don't react favourably to SSRI or SNRI antidepressants. If I'd known that at the time, I wouldn't have taken them. But the various doctors I saw tried me on 6 different ones, and I honestly hoped each time that that particular one I was taking at that time would actually help me. It didn't. It actually made me worse. I was waking up 6 or 7 times a night from nightmares, and when I was waking up because I was in a full-blown panic attack. Never happened to me before I started the SSRI, SNRI medications, and it's never happened since I weaned myself off them. I had a lot of problems on another medication, pregabalin. That affected me so badly mentally. I actually thought I was developing early onset dementia. It took me a year to wean myself off that, but since I have, I've improved a lot, but my cognitive function still isn't what it was. And I was just thinking recently about doing something on YouTube, and I thought, well, if my experiences can help someone else or make someone think, oh, I never thought of it that way, or I never saw it that way, and sparks that little thought in them that maybe something isn't right and they can go and get help, then I've been through so much, and it helps me to think that my experiences are helping someone else. The other side of the mental health is my first long-time relationship I was in for 15 years, and I've been out of it since 1996. And it's only recently, since I saw the therapist, that I realised that I'd been gaslighted for 15 years. It took me, honestly, a year after I got out of that relationship just to be able to actually start functioning as myself and realise that I didn't have to think about, should I do this? Will it upset somebody? Will I get shouted at? Will I get told I'm no good? But I won't go into that now. I'll do a separate video on that. And I don't want this channel to be all about my woes, because I don't look back on them as woes now. I look back on them as experiences I've gone through that have brought me to this point where I can possibly help other people. I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. And I was brought up in a Christian household. I was made to go to Sunday school, even though none of the other members in my household went to church. And I spent a lot of years until I was 16 being made to go to the Salvation Army because my dad joined and he thought I should go. And I learned enough about my experiences in that world didn't really gel with me. A lot of them seemed to counter the actual things that these people believed in the Bible. So I walked away from that. And to be honest, in my mind, it is so easy to live your life by a set of rules if you're following a religion where it says you must do this or you mustn't do that or you will go to hell. If you're living a life out of fear of something rather than just because you want to do it because you're a good person, then I'm not sure that's a good religion or a good way to be. You shouldn't need somebody to tell you how to live your life. You should be able to live it and do things because it's the right thing to do. Other things I'm going to include on this channel. I do read tarot. I am an intuitive reader. I read angel cards and stuff like that. I'm going to do some videos just choosing the odd card, and I'll go by what it says to me each time I pull it. Hopefully there's a message there that will help somebody on that day. My best friend, a lovely lady called Steph, who's the sister I always wished I had but never did, comes to stay with me a few times a year. She will be down on Halloween, so I'm going to try and twist her arm and get her to do a Halloween chat with me. Apologies for the interruption. I should have really set my phone to silent, shouldn't I? You live and learn, you live and learn. Yeah, I was saying my adopted sister, Steph's coming to stay with me over Halloween. So hopefully we'll make a video together. That should be fun. We always have a good laugh together. and we love Halloween. It's our favourite time of year. I would also like to include maybe some little bits of craft and stuff, because I do sew. And one thing I love to do is decorate ballet shoes, so maybe I'll do a video on that. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about me, and hopefully record some videos that you will enjoy. One day I may even be brave enough to do a live chat. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.